You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
Don't look now, but it sounds like the Chicago Bears are looking to make a big move up from the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, we are only 1 week away from the 2024 NFL Draft, and I just cannot wait any longer. I am so happy that we're only 1 week away from the 2024 NFL Draft because the anticipation on what the Chicago Bears will do with the number 9 overall pick in the upcoming 2024 NFL Draft is absolutely killing me. Speaking of the number 9 overall pick, Bears fans, I wanted to come on here really quick and talk about things I have been hearing on social media. Once again, just because it lands on social media, just because it lands on X, just because it lands on Instagram, doesn't mean it is actually true. We all understand that this is line season. We have no idea what the Chicago Bears are going to do with the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. But what I have been hearing from multiple people, not even analysts, obviously not GMs, but just people kind of discussing around social media that the Chicago Bears may be looking to make a move up from the number 9 overall pick in the upcoming 2024 NFL Draft. So I want to read you guys just a simple tweet, and basically all the tweets are the same, but I just want to share with you guys this one certain tweet, and these are the type of things that I've been hearing. This tweet says this, Bears fans: the closer we get to the NFL Draft, the sense I get is that trading up from number 9 is becoming more likely than trading down for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, even Ryan Poles does not know for certain until the draft board unfolds, but adding a blue chip multiplier is key. Bears fans, this tweet and the tweets that I've been hearing over the last couple of days have been quite interesting because for the most part, we have talked about every single scenario. We've talked about the Bears trading up, staying put, trading down, and you can make arguments for each scenario. Each scenario really makes sense. If you trade down, you can get some extra draft capital, maybe a second round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, maybe some future draft capital in the 2025 NFL Draft, while still landing a very talented player in the upcoming 2024 NFL Draft. Obviously, you can just stay put and maybe land a blue chip prospect and maybe like a Rome Odunze, or you can trade up to ensure that you actually get that blue chip prospect in Malik Nabers, Joe Alt, Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison Jr. So each scenario that we have discussed makes a whole lot of sense. But what will Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears actually do with the number 9 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft? And just like this tweet indicated, and much like how everyone's discussing, it all depends on how the draft board falls. We all know that the Chicago Bears are going to take Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. But what analysts have been saying about the upcoming draft is that they expect quarterbacks to go picks 1, 2, 3, and 4. If that's the case, that really helps the Chicago Bears because that means by pick number 5, that means there's going to be a whole lot of talent on the board. You're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. You're talking about Malik Nabers. You're talking about Rome Odunze. You're talking about Joe Alt. You're talking about Brock Bowers. There will be a whole lot of blue chip prospects still on the board for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. So when you really break it down and you think about it in that way, I can definitely see the Chicago Bears maybe trying to get a little bit of aggressive and move up the draft boards in the upcoming 2024 NFL Draft. I think the Chicago Bears really want a wide receiver. I think they're really in love with Rome Odunze, the character of him. They really like Malik Nabers. Obviously, I think everyone likes Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe they trade up and get a guy like Joe Alt. I know everyone, including myself, likes a guy like Braxton Jones, but if you can get better at that left tackle position, I think you can trade up and get a blue chip prospect and a guy like Joe Alt. You pair him up with Darnell Wright. Your tackles are taken care of for the next 10 to 12 years. I think that's a very smart move for the Chicago Bears. There's many different scenarios for the Chicago Bears to go with the number 9 overall pick. But the closer we get, Bears fans, it seems like the Chicago Bears, depending on how the draft board falls, are thinking about trading up to make sure they get that blue chip prospect. And there's a couple of things that I want to bring up on today's episode of Keek on the Mic when we're talking about trading up. I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say, well, Keek, we know Ryan Poles doesn't like to give up future draft capital. The Chicago Bears have 10 picks in the 2025 NFL draft, and we have 2 second-round picks next year, including the one from the Carolina Panthers. And I think that Carolina Panthers second-round pick is really going to come into play because I feel like that second-round pick, among other picks, is going to be the valuable trade asset if the Chicago Bears decide to trade up in the 2024 NFL draft. There's a lot of people saying that if someone that they really like falls to number 6, like let's say one of the receivers falls, maybe Joe Alt falls, they're saying that number 9 overall and that Carolina 2025 second round pick would be enough for the Chicago Bears to move up a couple of spots and land the guy of their choosing. So there's that. Another thing you have to consider, and I said this before on past episodes right here on Keek on the Mic. If Caleb Williams is what everyone says that he's going to be, the best prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck, this generational talent, that means the Chicago Bears won't be picking within the top 10 for a very, very long time. And my point on that is the Chicago Bears have 2 top 10 picks in this year's NFL draft. That means you have a chance to land two blue chip prospects. Maybe you will be able to do that by just staying put at number 9. But if you want to ensure that you get that second blue chip prospect after Caleb Williams, it may be necessary to trade up. Once again, if the draft board falls, and let's say at 6, you have Malik Nabers, Rome Odunze, Joe Alt, Brock Bowers, Dallas Turner, still all on the board, which is very possible in this scenario, especially if quarterbacks go 1 through 4, and next Thursday is round 1 of the 2024 NFL draft, maybe Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears do consider making the big move up. I'm definitely not against the move. It just depends on what we would have to give up. Obviously, if you're trying to move up from 9 to 4, you may have to give up a first-round pick along with both seconds next year, and I know Ryan Poles is not going to do that. That's when I'm like, you know what, just stay put at number 9 and hope Rome Odunze falls to number 9. But if we get to pick number 6 in the 2024 NFL draft, and you have all these blue-chip prospects still on the board, including Joe Alt, Rome Odunze, all the receivers, then I would be okay with Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears trading up to ensure they get that second blue chip prospect to help your football team right now, win right now. I understand it's intriguing to trade back. I understand it's intriguing just to maybe stay put and hope for the best and hope that guy falls. But if you really want Rome Odunze and you really want Malik Nabers, or if you really want Joe Alt, you may have to trade up. And there's a really real possibility that those guys could be there at 6 in the 2024 NFL draft. So I'm like definitely not against it. I'm really excited to see how the draft board falls. And if those guys do fall, if Ryan Poles and the Bears are aggressive and they trade up and go get their guy. But once again, if Caleb Williams is that guy, that generational talent, that franchise quarterback that we've been looking for forever, the Chicago Bears won't be picking within the top 10 for a very, very long time. So Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears have to capitalize on the opportunity in the 2 top 10 picks they have in this year's draft to make sure you're getting the best talent possible. 2 guys that can help your team win right now. The Chicago Bears are very close to being a contender within the NFC North as soon as this year, a playoff team as soon as this year. And this draft can really alter the direction of this franchise. So Ryan Poles, if that's the move that you want to make, I am totally fine with it. But just make sure you don't have to give up a whole lot of draft capital. I'm fine with number 9 and maybe a second round pick next year to move up a couple of spots and get the guy that you want, but make sure you don't mortgage the future to get one player. So Bears fans, if Ryan Poles and Chicago Bears opt to move up to get another blue chip prospect in the 2024 NFL draft, would you be okay with this move? And who would you be willing to trade up for? Malik Nabers, Rome Odunze, Joe Alt? Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. And make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys. And as always, Bear down.
You've been listening to Keek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.